Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another story time. But before I get into the story time, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe to my channel, like this video, leave a comment down below. That would help me grow. I would really appreciate it. And for all of you who checked out my last video, my last story time, I really appreciate the support. I did not expect to do numbers on that. I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much for supporting and showing love. It's just gonna, I'm just gonna keep coming and keep coming from here. Let's get into this story time. I'm not sure what I'm going to title this. I really don't know. But in this story, I'm pretty much going to be like a fourth wheel or a third wheel. I just sat back and I witnessed everything happen. My friend had a friend and she hooked up with her man and I seen it all go down. So let's get into this video. This is not like back in high school days, y'all. This was more like 2017, 2018. I was young, like 20, I'm not sure, 20 something. I was young. I was going through some things and I was staying with my older cousin. And if you're from Miami, I was in Carol City. I stayed in Carol City with my cousin at this time because I was going through some things, young. And in that apartment complex, it was this girl and I named her Juicy, y'all. I already made these names out to make it easier on me throughout the story. So while I was staying with my cousin in Carol City, it was this girl named Juicy. She actually looked like me. Like, she looked just like me. We would kind of look like sisters. She was juicy. She was red. Her facial features matched mine. And our personality, we just clicked. Mind you, Juicy, she wasn't a girl that I had just recently met. She was somebody that I've known for years, like since I was in summer camp type, age. I've known her for a long time. So Juicy was not a new person. She was a very familiar person. Our personalities clicked and, you know, it went from there. I would sit on the porch. I would smoke my little tree. I would play on my phone. And she would walk past, going to her apartment. She would speak and, or whatever, whatnot. And that's how that goes. Me staying with my cousin, she stayed in an apartment. We linked back up. We agreed to talk. And I'm like, hey, I don't have nothing else to do. Let's hang out. Let's kick it or whatever. So that's what we decided to do. So now, as the days go on, we're kicking it. We're hanging out. It was only one or two things we would do. We would hang out in her apartment or we would go to Tootsie's Cabaret. If you ever been to Miami, if you ever been to Tootsie's, comment down below. That's my spot till this day. So we was bored one day. We was like, let's go to Tootsie's. So we agreed to go to Tootsie's, and that was that. Now, Juicy, she did have a boyfriend. We're going to name him Black in this story time. So she had Black. So it was going to be me, Juicy, and Black. We were all going to go to Tootsie's. And all of a sudden, the plans changed. And she was like, my homegirl, Crystal, she wants to come. We're going to call her homegirl, Crystal. So I was like, oh, cool. Us four, we're going to go to Tootsie's. Bet. We're going to have a good time. Now, mind you, I really don't know Crystal like that. I'm friends with Juicy. Crystal is Juicy's friend. Black is Juicy's boyfriend. So I'm just there. You know what I mean? I'm Juicy's friend and I'm just hanging out. We're kicking it. We're going to, we're talking, we're discussing to go to Tootsie's that weekend. And that was the plan. So the weekend come and I remember, me getting ready. I put on my little boots and my little dress and we get ready. We go to Tootsie's. It was me, Black, Crystal, and Juicy. We all rode in the same car. I didn't have a car at this time, so we rode with Juicy. And at Tootsie's, we all sit down. I get my favorite drink, which is a White Russian. I love me a White Russian. That's cream and Hennessy. I love me some Hennessy. So I order one of those. They get their drinks. We're all at the table. We're chilling. Now, if you ever been to Tootsie's, you will know that the strippers are in the entrance of the strip club. And then as you go further backwards to the back, there's like the bar, the hookah and the pool tables and things like that. So we will always go to the back. And if you're familiar with like a table, like, the table is like one person, two people in front of you. So I sit next to Juicy, it's me and Juicy, and Black is in front of her. Now, why Crystal is sitting next to Black, I have no idea. Who set this arrangement up? Don't ask me. I'm just here. I'm just a friend. I'm just vibing. I'm just relaxing, right? Why Crystal is sitting next to Black, I have no idea. So during this time, we're at the bar. I mean, we're at the table. You know, we're drinking. I'm having another White Russian. They're drinking a lemon drops. I think Black got him a couple beers because I don't think he was a heavy drinker like that. And Crystal, she doing her thing. She's getting her little mixed drinks or whatever she's drinking. I'm not really paying attention because I'm in my own world talking to Juicy. I know I'm not tripping, but I can sense, I can see like Crystal how she's like paying so much attention to Black. Yes, she's sitting next to him, but that's not your man. You are, you know what I mean? You're supposed to compose yourself and handle yourself in a manner as if you know this man has a girlfriend. I just remember like noticing her, like she just kept looking at him. She was, blushing a little bit. I wonder if she was trying to touch his hand under that table because me and Juicy, we couldn't see. And I remember, thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, why does she keep looking at Black? And, she keep looking at Black and she's just blushing and everything he's saying, she's just dying laughing, falling out. And it was weird. It was giving weird. I'm talking to Juicy. She's looking at me. I'm looking at her. Nothing's wrong. I just felt something in my spirit because first of all, no girl sitting by my man and we at the club in the bar. I'm gonna sit by him. You know what I mean? Like I'm not sure how close Juicy and Crystal was to each other, but that was off bat just weird. And how everything he said, she just died laughing. Like it was not that funny. It was nothing was that funny. Nothing was that funny. Nothing was that funny. So So, the night goes on, and I'm just keeping this in the back of my head. I'm like, this girl, Crystal, she a little shady. You know what I mean? Like, she's a little shady. I'm not sure about this girl. She's a little weird. I'm not sure what she's on, but I feel like she like Juicy Man because, when you got that little twinkle for a guy, you stare at them and everything they say, you have a response for it, even when it's nothing funny because what you laughing at, what's funny? Anyways, that night goes on. We leave the club, and as I said, me and Juicy, we were staying in the same apartment complex because I was still with my cousin at the time. So Crystal, we all go back to Juicy house. They Black leave, Crystal leave. I walk over to my cousin apartment. I go home. I go to sleep. That was that night. And everything was cool. Juicy, she didn't mention anything to me. She didn't ask me any questions. She didn't ask me my opinions about anything. I guess everything was cool on her end. Nothing seemed to be out of place. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. So this a little time later, like a couple weeks after, right? So again, Juicy hit me up. She like, what you doing? I remember I was on the porch chilling on my phone, probably talking to some guy. Don't know. She hit me up and she like, what you doing? And I'm like, nothing. She like, come over. Let's drink a little bit, have a little game night, because that's what we would do. And I'm like, cool. I'm gonna go over to her house and we're gonna chill. So I get ready, take my little shower, and I walk over to her apartment. And we do our thing as we normally do. We put on our old school R&B and our rap, and we play spades, and we pull out our little games or whatever, and we just vibe a little chill thing. You know what I mean? So initially it was just me and Juicy, and then all of a sudden Crystal she just keeps popping up for some reason. Crystal pops up. So Crystal there, and I'm like, hey, she walks through the door. I'm like, hey, Crystal. She say hey back to me because again, I'm just a friend. I'm just there. I guess I'm just relaxed. It's like it's gonna storm. I'm just there. I know you may hear a lot of story times about these girls and how they tell stories, and they always seem to be the innocent one in the story, but truly I was just a bystander, just witnessing all of this go down and whatever. Anyways, Crystal comes over. We're doing our thing. We're playing spades. We're taking shots of Hennessy because that was our thing. We didn't drink nothing else. No white, no nothing, just Hennessy. So we taking our shots. We having a good time. We twerking a little bit, vibing to the music. And then bum 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 bum. We hear a knock at the door. Guess who it is? It's Black, of course, because that's Juicy's boyfriend. So I opened the door because I was sitting on the couch closest to the door. I opened the door and he's, what's up, y'all? Babe, why you didn't answer the phone? And Juicy's like, yeah, we chilling. Like my girl's over here, we vibing. And I believe it was one of those things where she didn't really tell him he can come over. He just came. And I have a feeling he had a feeling that Crystal was over there. Now keep up with me. right? So we all playing. Black comes in. This thing want to come off so bad. So we're all chilling. We're all vibing. I'm sitting on the couch. We're doing our thing. Um, I remember Crystal sitting on the couch on the side of me. So like I can see her. I don't know how to explain it. I'm sitting on the couch right here. Crystal's sitting on the couch right here, right? And I can see her pretty much. She's practically in front of me. So as the night goes on, we're drinking, we're having a good time. Nothing's weird at this point. But you know, when you get them shots in you and you start drinking and having a good time, what, ladies? You gotta pee. I don't know if you have to use the bathroom. So Crystal, she gets up and she like, y'all, I gotta pee. I don't know why she had to announce that part, but she did. She got up and she said she gotta pee. And on that couch where Crystal was sitting, across in a chair, Black was sitting there. So I have peripheral visions of both of them, Crystal and Black. Juicy, she's somewhere in the kitchen doing her thing. I'm not sure. She wasn't in the living room at this time. So when Crystal said, I gotta pee, and she get up, why I look at Black and Black just like, oh, Black Black is just looking at her like with that eye like I tell you up, I promise you not. And I'm looking like what came in my head was, do he not see me sitting here? Like, do he not care if anybody see this happening? Like, you know, he didn't. That was the first thought that ran through my head. Like, he don't see me sitting here. He don't think that I'm gonna go back and tell Juicy what just happened. So she gets up, go to the bathroom. And he looking at her. I'm like, noted. That's weird. I already noticed she was like kinky and like giggly over him at the cabaret in Tootsie's. And now she's like wanting, you know, he looking at her. So I'm like, okay, that's on him. She didn't do anything wrong. But when she came out the bathroom, y'all, you know how sometimes you may walk out the bathroom and your pants don't be like buttoned all the way and you see like a little bit of your panties a little bit at the top. She not only didn't have her pants buttoned when she walked out the bathroom, she had like the back of her pants was almost like half of her ass was out pretty much. Like you could see the top of her thong and her lace of her underwear. Like so the front of her panties was showing and half of her ass in the back. So she walking out the bathroom pulling them up. But before she get them pulled all the way up, we can see that ass. Why can't we see your ass? And you know your friend boyfriend is sitting here on the couch and he's looking. So I put two and two together. Again, y'all, I'm just a bystander. I'm just a friend who's struggling, staying with her cousin, just wanting to hang out.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Promise you. And so I'm just on the couch like this. And in my head, I'm like, ooh. So I felt like Crystal was a snake. She was a snake. I started getting these feelings like she was a snake. For some reason, girls always want what you have. Like, again, I'm not sure how long Crystal and Juicy was friends. I'm not sure. But it was weird. Like anyone you call your friend, you should not be. I don't even like even my boyfriend, for example. I barely know how his friends look because when they're around, I don't be in their face. I don't stare at them. My homegirls that I have, I've never had issues with dealing with their man because when they come around, I speak and I go the other way. There's no need for all the extra talking, giggling, none of that. So I can't relate, but I can see what's brewing in the midst of my presence. I can see what's happening, y'all. So I can see what's happening, y'all. So she comes out and she sits on the couch, and the atmosphere, again, I'm not sure where Juicy went. We're all in the living room chilling. I'm not sure where Juicy went. I don't know. I don't remember if she was in her room or in the kitchen, but I just remember it was just us three in the living room at the time. Me, Crystal, and Black. And when Crystal came out that bathroom, it was very awkward. Like very, very, very awkward. Like I don't know. Black, it's like they were reading each other's minds, and I'm sitting watching. Black was just had this grin on his face, and she felt proud. She felt really proud. So that was the second incident, y'all. Before that, Juicy did come back. I don't remember where she was when all of this was happening, why they were flirting with their eyes and stuff like that. I don't remember where she was, but I remember as the night like went on, you know, hours passed, we're all still hanging and chilling, playing cards. I do remember Juicy in Black, you know, like getting affectionate, like that's an apartment, so when your boyfriend around, you're gonna like cuddle and kiss and touch on each other, regardless of who around. So I'm doing my thing. I'm chilling, sipping. I'm doing my thing. But what I remember, like Juicy had her leg across Black. While she was sitting on the couch, she was laid back on the couch and she put a leg on her boyfriend Black. And boy, when I tell you, Crystal face, boy, she was mad. You know how some Caucasian people, when they get nervous or they get mad, their ears turn red. When I tell you Crystal was not, I can, I'm melanin, but I'm a little light skinned. She was way darker than me. You can feel the heat coming off Crystal ears. She was so mad. She did not like the fact that Juicy was up there cuddling and showing affection with her man. That's the last thing I remember that night because I was toe up from the flow up, about to throw up, if you know what I'm saying, from that night. So that's the last things I remember. I can sense the energy in the room. I'm not sure if Juicy caught on, but I can sense that Crystal was just all out jealous. So after that night, you know, I'm just chilling, doing my thing. It's like a couple weeks now done passed, and again, you know me, I'm just struggling, being me, do, sitting on the porch of my cousin' apartment, smoking my tree, whatever, in my zone. Here I go. I see Juicy coming down the hallway. And you know how we do, you see your homegirl, you speak a little bit, you talk, whoop, whoop, whoop. And she was like, yo, so you want to go back to Tootsie's this weekend? Now, one thing y'all didn't learn about this story time, we only did one of three things. We went to Tootsie's, we hung out in her apartment, or we hung out in her apartment pretty much. We hung out in her apartment pretty much. So this she was like, do you want to go back to Tootsie's? I remember we were talking about it and we was discussing, did we want to take Crystal? And I'm like, why are we questioning this? I thought Crystal was your friend. And she was like, well, lately I've been getting some vibes. I just been feeling a little weird. Every time I hang out with Crystal, she always, I could just sense she's a little jealous. Like she gives me attitude when I kiss on Black. She said a couple times that when I wasn't there, they were hanging out in her apartment, and I don't know. She just do little sneaky things, like she try to show her body around Black. Like she'll wear these little small shorts with her ass hanging out, or she'll like try to have her boobs hanging out. You know what I mean? Just do little things that you don't normally do around your friend's boyfriend. And if you watch my previous story time before, in that story time when I caught my friend messing with my man, uh, the little signs were every time he come around, her voice would change. Like she would go from this to hey. Like why? Why is your voice changing? So that's another sign. So she was telling me, expressing all of these things to me. Like I feel like this bitch Crystal want my man. And in the back of my head, I was like, hell yes, she do. But did I say that? No. I just was like, I didn't want to start no trouble, y'all, because I am not like I don't know how close them two was, but I'm just a friend that's just here for a moment. I'm not here for a long time. I'm just here for a good time. So I didn't want to start any problems, any trouble. So of course I'm like, well, I'm not sure about that. I see that she's a little giddy around him or whatever, but I haven't really seen any physical touch. I haven't really seen him do anything in front of me just yet, but girl, if the shoe fits, wear it. So we discussed talking about going to Tootsie's again, and we was discussing should we invite Crystal. And I'm like, to hell, she always fun to hang around, if you want to bring her, bring her. But she was like, she wanted her man to come Black. So I'm like, hell, bring him too, because he always a good time as well. I'm just down with the cause. I'm just here in the background and having a good time, y'all. Seriously. So whatever, hell, I didn't care. If she wanted to go to Tootsie's in damn dinosaur suits with heels on, I was going to go. So I'm like, yeah. So the weekend come, we're going to fast forward. The weekend come, we get ready. We put on our little 1-2, we get ready. And Crystal, she's there, of course. I'm just gonna fast forward to when we get back to the cabaret to Tootsie's, right? So we do always go to Tootsie's at happy hour. Happy hour is free. You don't have to pay for any entrance or anything like that. So Black is there as well. We all enter, we get in for free, and we all sit at around the same bar, the same area we always sit at the table. Same routine, us four at the bar. So now the waitress come around and she's like, "What you having?" And I'm like, "White Russian." She asked Juicy, "What you having?" Lemon drop. She asked Black, "What you having?" Corona. She asked Crystal, "What she having?" Crickets. She didn't have any money. Um, she said she didn't have any money, so it was crickets. So we're just waiting on her to like tell the waitress what she wanted to drink, and she was like, "Oh, I didn't have any. I didn't have no money with me. You know, I wanted to know if you can like pay for it." Talking to Juicy, because she damn sure wasn't talking to me. So she was like, "Can you just pay for it for me? You know, I'll give it back when we get back to the apartment." And before Juicy can even say anything, Black is like, "I got her." So I look at Juicy, and Juicy was like, that's what she said. She said, "But no." Juicy was like, and I agree, rightfully so, because you just said you didn't have any money. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have any money. Why would you come out to a cabaret with us knowing you didn't have any money, knowing we love to drink? Why would you do that? Like, who does that? I can't stand girls like that. That was first strike. That shows me that she didn't have any money, but because she knew Black was coming, she wanted to be in the mix. So Juicy was like, "Fuck no, you're not doing none of that." And rightfully so, I agreed. I'm sitting at the table and I'm just observing everything that's going on. So you can tell they was having like a little discussion. They was like, whispering to each other. You know that little tense, the little intensity that couples have when they don't want to be loud, but they arguing. They were doing one of those like kind of things. And Crystal, again, I can't express this enough. How people look proud when they're like destroying something that they want. Like she looked proud, like she looked happy that they were arguing or whatnot. Like and then I don't know. I'm just fast forwarding this story. I was sitting there drinking. I'm having a good time. I was hitting my little hookah. I'm chilling. I'm just observing everything because this is none of my business. Fast forward like an hour or so later, we all, it calmed down a little bit. Juicy wanted to go to the bathroom. So I'm like, "Yeah, girl, I gotta pee too." Because when I drink, I have to pee. So I have to pee too. So I follow her and we go to the bathroom. We talking in the bathroom, it's all good. Everything died down or whatever. Me and Juicy comes out of the bathroom and guess what we see? We see Crystal and Black at the table arguing, y'all.
Calling the police.
They arguing. They really like they're arguing. I'm not talking about like well, you said this, you said that, you said this, you said that. I'm talking about, "Fuck ass nigga, you did this and why you did that." She was going off on Black, and Juicy was just standing there like in awe. But my friend clocked that T, because why are you arguing with my man? What the fuck? What business do y'all have arguing with each other? And in that moment, she knew that Crystal and Black had to be doing something. She knew they had to be, linking up behind her back. She just knew something was going on. And when I tell you, this story took a turn, I had no idea. Like, again, when we were standing at the door at the bathroom, Crystal, she had an epiphany. She was just like, not Crystal, Juicy. She had an epiphany, and she just was like, "Yeah, this bitch fucked with my man." And me, I'm just like, because I knew it was about to go down. We walk over to the table, and I tell y'all no lie. Juicy took, while them two was like, when we walked up, they tried to like shut up and stop like arguing really fast, but it was too late. We seen it, everything. We walked up to the table, and Juicy just boom right in her face. Juicy punched Crystal so hard, y'all. I say, "Oh."
Why would she say that? Like,
I said, "Oh," I'm not lying. I didn't know what to do. I really be in fights. I don't be in bar fights. I don't be into nothing. So I'm my heart racing. I'm like, "Oh hell no." I'm like, "Oh." Juicy hit Crystal in the face. Black tried to get up and like immediately separate them. When I say Juicy had her hair, she was just boop, 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 boop. Classic girl beat down. You feel what I mean? I see the security guards from all which way, because in Tootsie's, it'd be like securities in each corners of the area. I see the securities. They pushing chairs out of the way. They pushing chairs out of the way. I'm still standing there, y'all, flabbergasted. I'm like, "Oh." This was not my fight to get into. But when I tell you, Them little plaits that Crystal had in her head, she probably had, I don't know, 80 starting off at the day. She probably had 30 left at the end of the night. When I say Juicy had that girl hair like this, and she would boom, boom, boom. That's all I remember. And I'm just standing there. Poor black child. He was just in the middle, just trying to break them up. I think he even got hit in the face a couple times. It was like a real bar fight. And just like high school, when people get the fighting in the club, everybody's around, and I'm embarrassed because I'm like, I'm with these people. Oh, it was crazy. The securities get to pulling Crystal, pulling Juicy. They have them separated like dogs. Like, imagine like Crystal have her hair. Juicy have her hair, and she's still doing like this. But imagine, you know how you pull two dogs apart? So their feet is in the air, like the securities have their feet, and they just connected. They just still fighting. That's how it was, y'all. Juicy was not letting up off of her. It took 6 hours, 34 minutes, 12 seconds to get them people up off of Crystal. Nah, I'm just playing. But that was too much for me. And again, while the security had them two like this, I'm just like, oh my God, like, what kind of friend is this? This night was crazy. I was too drunk. And then pro black, when things go left like that, ladies, anytime a man get caught up with another woman, the man always just stand there looking stupid. He just stand there. He just stood there just looking stupid. It was so unbelievable, y'all. I just could not believe Juicy beat that girl up without no hesitation, y'all. She didn't think twice about it. Like, she didn't think twice about it. And as you can imagine, once all of the securities come and they finally get these two ladies apart, I'm standing there looking crazy because I'm like, it's nothing for me to do, really. Juicy beat her up. Juicy beat her up. It was really nothing for me to do. Black over here, he's pathetic. He's pitiful. I seen it coming. Juicy probably seen it coming, but it just took that one little argument for her to be tipped over the edge, right? The security get them separated and everything dies down. And of course, as you all can guess, we did get kicked out of the club. Embarrassing. We got kicked out on our asses. I took my drink. They wasn't going to tell me I couldn't have my drink. So while we were getting our ass kicked out, I grabbed my drink and we left. Juicy was first out the door. I was behind Juicy. Juicy had on one shoe, child. I don't know. She had on one shoe. The other shoe popped. Crystal was toe up from the floor up. She was behind me. The security had her behind me. Her titties was coming out. It was just ridiculous. And then here come Black behind all of us. I don't know why he wasn't the first out of the door going to the car, but he was the last coming out. It was a wreck, y'all. And she still let Black in the car to go home with us.
I know you fucking lying, bitch.
And Crystal, this is weird. So we all did leave in the same car. If I just beat your ass in the club for fucking with my man, y'all arguing. She don't really know what they were arguing about, but you argue with my man. I know y'all got something going on. She let this girl get in the car with us. With us. I'm talking about me, her, and Black. She let Crystal ride back to the apartment with us, and she didn't. It was weird. It was weird. It wasn't a quiet ride. They were arguing. She kept asking Crystal what they was talking about. Black just sitting in the back seat. Man, nothing going on, man. I don't know what you talk about, man. You don't know what you see, man. You know how man is. Pathetic. I get out, child. I stumble, and it's happy hour. Remember I told you the happy hour is like from 12 p.m. to like 8 p.m. It's mad early, y'all. It's like 9 p.m. at night. We get kicked out, drunk, sad. And that's pretty much the end of that story time of how my friend beat up her friend for messing with her man. And I seen everything happen. Everything just unfolded in front of my eyes, and I just sat and watched because what am I supposed to do? I mean, so again, y'all, I'm not sure if I end up getting myself together. Me and my boyfriend, we met and we ended up starting life together. And I'll end up moving from those apartments. And I did visit Juicy here and there every now and then on my off days, and we'd kick it. And I'm not sure. She didn't really talk much shit about the girl. Honestly, I didn't ask either. Like, I'm not sure if they were friends after that. I'm probably sure not. I'm not sure how, if she gave her a second chance or if they still even talk. Again, I don't know. I was just there. So, y'all, if you enjoyed this story time, please like this video. I'm trying to get my likes up. Leave a comment. If you've ever experienced anything like this before, I would love to hear your story. Leave the comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. And until next time, y'all, I am out. Peace.